What is up, YouTube? HPJ here, and I hope you guys are doing well. It is literally time to take a nice look at the Charmers structure deck. Spirit was it Anime Chronicles 2, the Charmers, the Spirit Charmers, and I know many of you who are fans of the Charmers are probably excited to see the Charmers get, everything that they're possibly getting within the next couple of months of TCG and OCG. However, I have to be blunt. I have to be 100% honest. I am not happy with how the Charmers are being handled. If you're a fan of the Charmers, I'm pretty sure many of you can understand this as well. But let's just get the big thing out the way. We understand that the archetype, well, I keep saying we, like it's not just me here, but understand that the archetype is not a competitive archetype. The pieces of the archetype do get used in multiple decks that are competitive, which is fine, perfect. But when you create an archetype, don't you want to see the archetype grow? Don't you want to see the archetype prosper? And I feel like Konami doesn't want to see the archetype of the Charmers prosper unless they say so. And this is the second, no, this is like the 15th time we've seen Charmer cards come out, Charmer cards support. But now this is the second structure deck that they're getting. And look how they're treating it. They're not even trying to hide it. This is just an amalgamation of stuff to basically make the Anime Chronicles look good and sell it when it doesn't need to. It's perfectly fine on its own. And honestly, I think it would sell great with or without the need to make cards out of cards for cards. Really. I honestly just don't understand why we need all this additional stuff going on. So, what exactly is currently going on with it is that there are 3 new additional cards coming, and then they reprinted the original 4 Charmers that were attached to the structure to the archetype from Elemental Energy. So, the Charmer of Water, the Charmer of Wind, the Charmer of Earth, and the Charmer of Fire. Hita, Usa, Area, Windy, they're all getting all arts. And I also wanted to just show off the box that's coming, because this is what the TCG version of the box looks like. This was the display that was on the cutting room floor a couple of months ago. Hold on. There we go. When they were displaying it. Sorry, because there's like so many ads and stuff that it's not even funny. Thank you for Yu-Gi-Oh! Wiki Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization, because to keep their channel afloat, they have to do this. But yeah, that's pretty much what the mats and stuff look like. I'll do a close up of it. So that's what the structure deck looks like. That's what the box of the structure deck looks like. That's what the mat that comes in. It's a paper mat. It's not an actual, fully printed mat. But yeah, that's everything that's together. I mean, we've seen better. Yu-Gi-Oh's no surprise. So then here are the alt arts for the cards. Hold on, I gotta get like all the League of Legends stuff moved out the way too. And this is what the alt arts of those cards look like. So Area, Hita, Winnie, and Usa. In addition to this, they are also printing out a major wave of reprints. So, Lord of the Heavenly Prison, MSD, all the horrors, three, one, two, three, four, five, a few of the horrors cards. You know, the cards that like they need this golden sarcophagus and then they come out from it. Yeah, those are getting reprinted. So the blessings, the guidance, protection of Horus, the golden sarcophagus, then spellbook of knowledge, spellbook of secrets, spellbook magician of prophecy, fairy tale Luna because she's a searcher for them. Um, magicalized Fusion and Quintet Magician is also being printed in there. The Angel Statue Azurin, then Sol and Luna. We got the Zombie Vampire, which I believe is a quick play spell. No, not a quick play spell. I think it's a monster, or one of those spell trap cards as well. Because I think it shares the same stats as the Charmers. And then we have Silhouette Rabbit, which is actually a good reprint because that card needed a reprint. It was just hard to get. Selene, the Queen of Master Magicians, because why not? Any archetype that uses, the Charmer Link monsters, they put you use the Queen of Master Magicians, so she doesn't need to get to. And then, of course, Access Code Talker, which is now going to get another reprint. And I believe every card in this set, just like the previous Anime Chronicles deck, is going to be hollow. So everything in it is going to be hollowed out. Now, I will just say this now. Cute. Cute, nice little reprints there. But then we did get a new Fusion Monster, which I did a video on her, on these girls' Fusion Monster. This is the Charmer of the Grand Circle, and the artwork used for it, which, like I said, not bad. Got a little spell card going with them. Then reprinting more of the cards for the charms. Basically, every Charmer card that is being reprinted except two. We do not have a Charmer print of Lyra, the Light Charmer, and is it Lyra or Lena? I forget which. I think it's Lena. Lena and Lyra. Lyra, the Light Charmer, and Dirk, the Dark Charmer, have not been reprinted in this. And there is legitimately no reason why they haven't, because both of them are Charmers. One is Light, and she has Happy Lover as her partner, and the other one is Dark, who has Megabat as his partner. And it's crazy though, because then they would have to reprint and upgrade those monsters as well, because there are no additional like familiar possessed monsters. There's no like no Sonic Bat, Super Bat monster or anything for any of those cards. So I'm very confused as to why Konami has not done anything with them. But it's been literally almost 30 years in TCG, and we still have not had a reprint of Happy Lover or Mega Bat. But yeah, and this is why I said I have the issues with this deck, is because Light and Dark are being excluded, and then they're getting mediocre assist cards to the archetype just to say, hey, look, here's all the reprints. Go happy. Speaking of these newer cards, these are the most recent 3 cards that have been printed for the archetype. So the first one up is the Link monster known as the 4 Charmers in Perfusion. It's a Link 4 light attribute spellcaster with 1850 attack. It points right, left, bottom right, bottom left, and requires 2 or more materials for the fusion. You only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn each. This card gains 300 attack for each monster on the field with a different attribute. Then, while this face-up card is on the field during the main phase, quick effect, you can target up to 2 monsters in your graveyard with the same type or attribute, and also summon both of them. But they cannot be used as material for a Synchro, Fusion, Xyz, or Link summon the turn until the end of the turn, until the end of this turn. So basically, you have to IP Masquerade to summon this monster, then somehow or another you'll trigger her ability to then summon 2 more monsters from the graveyard. But none of these monsters can be used during that turn for a Synchro, Fusion, or Xyz of another monster. Which means they're going to be completely vulnerable. Yeah, they're going to be completely vulnerable. And just mistake number 1. You make a Link monster to summon other monsters, and then you have like their other Link monsters in the lineup. You're just hurting them. It's just a really bad card. I'm sorry. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's just really bad. Like, if you're trying to maybe influence an IP Masquerade play, put IP Masquerade into the deck, at least. Then we have this card here, which I think is actually really cool for them. This is the Familiars of the Spiritual Art, level 4 water attribute reptile monster with 1500 attack, 200 defense, similar to that of the other familiar possessed support monsters, getting these same stats. This card is always treated as a familiar possessed card. You can only use each of the following effects of this card's name once per turn each. If this card is no social summon, you can add 1 possessed spell or trap, or a grand spiritual art each you run from your deck to your hand. You can declare 1 type and attribute, and this card becomes that type and attribute until the end of the turn. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can still summon 1 Spellcaster monster with 1500 defense from your deck or graveyard. Then we have the last card, which is Possess Renaissance. As a normal spell, you can use each of the following effects of this card's name once per turn each. Target 1 face-up monster on the field, such as summon 1 Charmer or Familiar Possessed monster with the same attribute from your hand, deck, or graveyard in attack or face-down defense position. Then you can target 1 monster Oh, and then change the target monster into the face down defense position. You banish this card from your graveyard, then target one monster you control and change its battle position. So basically, it's a way to cheat out the Charmers, and then you try to utilize their abilities to flip them face up and then take control of your opponent's monster of a respective attribute, while also being able to special summon a familiar possessed or a Charmer monster with the same attribute from your hand, deck, or graveyard, which is still really good because it can be in combination with the abilities that they have. So, not a bad card. Neither is the Familiars of the Spiritual Art, which also acts as a way to summon other monsters onto the board. Both of these cards I like. This Blink monster, no, I don't like it. Because, like I said, what's the point of printing all these new cards if you're not going to have literally the resources to play around with them? I guess we're already supposed to have them since they reprint IP Masquerade every other week. And then even at this point, with the lineup of cards that they have, are we really going to benefit from this? Because, I've said it. You're running on the second structure deck. You're running on like the umpteenth wave of Charmer card support. And it's just like nothing's really sticking. We get that you don't like the archetype wanting to be a competitive archetype. That's fine. But don't, sit it out to waste like Redheaded Stepchild like you did. I don't know. Ice Barrier when they got a structure deck and it was completely flopped on its impact and release. You didn't give us the Dragunity nor the Agent R structure decks. You put those in the core sets. The only saving graces for a structure deck at this point was the Chronicle structure deck that came out earlier this year. No, a few months ago, which was for Albaz. And, Albaz was already rocking. Because Automatica, Tri-Brigade, all the stuff that was in it was still relatively good and still relatively modern to the ages. But an archetype this old, and you're giving it little to no real resources, what did you expect us to not to do? Sit here and be quiet about it? Sorry, but not sorry. Can't do that. This archetype deserves more, considering the fact that it's attached to 15 other lore archetypes in the series, and even then, some of those you have neglected for almost years and did not do much with them either. Shout out to the Gusto. So, my basic point of this is that, yeah, while we're getting all this new support, let's, rip the band aid off and call it like it is. They really just threw Charmers to the wayside and didn't give a fuck. They don't. And still don't. And when all this new stuff for the Charmers comes out, they're still not going to give a fuck. So, I don't know which else more to really say, but hey, it is what it is, right? Right. So, I gotta go because I got other things to do, but I just wanted to make this video to make sure very clear of what new stuff was coming. And then, just, guys can just piggyback off of it. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I appreciate it. I'll try to get this video uploaded as soon as possible. And I'll just catch you guys next time. HCJ, signing out. Take care.